Now we're live.
But you killed. He
Well,
I guess to give you a rundown of what this even is, what this campaign is. This is the starter set, Dragon of Icesprie Peak. They started in the town of Phandalin in a bar, and they all met each other, and we just retconned to say that you were there. They found out that there was a job board in town, and they went to go check and see which jobs they wanted to try and do. And they picked one that was the Dwarven Excavation, which basically said, go and warn these dwarves about this white dragon that's appearing and, you know, fucking shit up. So they go and they meet the town master to get the quest and to accept it. And Chris's character is called Winston. And Winston went to the town master and goes, yo, this quest, what's up with it? He was not too pleased about the casual way he was talking to him. But
Let's grab that basil and bring it out.
What's your character's name, Darren?
Johnston.
Johnston. Johnston realized what a noble, fine young town master this was, and talked to him more appropriately.
Yeah.
Ended up getting some more money out of the deal. And they went on their way to the Dwarven Excavation. They stopped by the provisions, the Baranthos provisions, to get more supplies.
Feel free to get, there's plenty out there.
They,
Okay.
what did they do?
There.
Yeah, they went to provisions to see if there was a cart they could take to go to the miners' cave, so they didn't have to walk there. They found one cart.
Hungry?
As long as they provided protection for it, they could go for free. They hopped in, everyone was keeping a watch out. Winston ended up spotting a pitfall trap in the front that was disguised pretty well. They went to look at it, and as the cart stopped, the goblins came up from behind. Johnston was able to perceive them on the ground as they were trying to scurry up and get into the cart, and he super wide Eldritch Blast one of them, like natural one, just way off. But warned the rest of the group. They easily just fucked them up. Winston killed the first one with an ice knife pelvic thrust.
Pretty great.
That did happen.
It did happen. The other one got a firebolt to the face. An Eldritch Blast. Then the other one ran away to who knows where. They took the cart around the pitfall, and then they were headed off to the Dwarven Excavation. The trip is about half a day, so Winston was going to rest 4 hours since he's an elf, and he only has to take 4 hours to get his long rest for his spell slots back.
You know what? We have 2 elves in the party now.
Dude, which means
Chris,
watches,
you know
watches are covered.
Yep, that means we never have to keep.
That's
Me
what
and
that
Chris
means.
never have to keep watch.
That's what that means.
You meditate, or you go into trance for 4 hours. When you come out, I go in. They sleep for 8 hours consecutively, and everybody wins.
As long as nothing goes wrong, then everyone gets their full night's rest.
And remember, if you see something, say something.
No, yeah, you didn't say anything the first. Oh,
My
no.
character's mute. How's that? Not really.
Winston didn't say anything. He was like, he told everyone there was a pitfall, but didn't say where the pitfall was. And so they're like, everything's good, and they started to go ahead. And I was like, are you gonna let them go? And he was like, yeah. I was like, there's a pitfall in front. And he's like, oh yeah.
I could have sworn I'd said stop. There's something weird ahead, but you know, I guess you got to spell all this stuff out because people are dumb.
People are dumb.
You're an elf. What are your races?
Oh, you're a human wizard. Necromantic human wizard.
Sweet.
I'm also a human. Gotta get that bonus feat, baby!
And yeah, so we got a bard, a wizard, a druid, and a fighter. We got some good long range stuff going on here.
Gotta get that only good fucking aggressive cantrip spell.
But so you guys are traveling along the road. As you're coming up to the Dwarven Excavation, if everyone wants to put their we'll just put them over here. Do you need one? You can pick anyone from in here. Oh, no, yeah, yours. That works. As you're coming up to the dwarven excavation, you see the canyon's rocky walls rise to a height of about 80 feet. At the end of the canyon, a 20-foot high wall of black stone and a broken gate carved into it, with one stone door hanging precariously by the hinge and the other door missing. Beyond this open gate is the shadow of a great mountain to the east, which a ruined settlement lies in. All seems to be quiet as you guys are approaching the broken doors to the dwarven excavation site.
So the doors are up the stairs?
Yeah, so we'll say no. So,
Okay.
That makes it much easier. The doors are there. One door is blown wide off. The other door is hanging by roughly its hinges. And everything seems to be pretty quiet in there.
The door that's remaining, does it look charred or anything?
I hate your dice.
I hate my dice too.
No, it doesn't look charred. It doesn't look like it was caught on fire or anything of that nature. No.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to gently push the door that's hanging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you cast Mage Hand, and it's gonna take a little bit more than 5 pounds to 10 pounds to.
I was gonna say, I think it's 10 pounds now.
They made it less bad. I think it's 10 pounds. You can see it slightly wobble a little bit, but it's definitely not gonna push the wooden door or push it off its hinges. But you can see it creak a little bit.
Are there any sounds or anything?
Everything seems really quiet.
I don't like that.
Who wants to do shots? Before we go in.
So
it's not the worst idea.
It's not.
The person who's driving the caravan, he says, "All right, well, we're at your destination. Why don't you guys go take a look first? I'll wait here. Seems there's been some mishap, so I'll wait here while you go and check the place out and let me know if it's safe before I bring in their provisions." That'd be nice.
Persuasion?
Oh, I got a 9 on perception, which probably don't notice anything because passive is like.
I was gonna
10.
say
think your passive's higher.
probably
I think your passive's probably what, a 13? 14?
I say I have a +2 to wisdom, so I think it's 12.
12. It's 10 plus your modifier.
Yeah, so it's 12. So my
12.
passive is better. So
Okay, we'll go with your passive. Not picking anything up off of the passive. That's a group pass right now.
19 to persuade the car driver. Well, aren't you responsible for delivering these goods?
It was, yeah.
Wouldn't you want to make sure they get there? I mean, we're done now, right? I mean, unless you're taking us back.
He goes,
Well, last I knew that wasn't part of the contract, so
no.
you should probably get in there and deliver this goods.
He's like, are you casting any spell to persuade?
No, just a 19.
Just
a 19.
He's like, yeah, you know, I am responsible for the goods, but you guys handled those goblins so well. You know, I'll go in with you. I don't think I want to go in here by myself though. But I'll go in with you, and if everything seems good, then you know I can load the stuff in by myself. I don't need your help.
Why don't you take point and we'll be right behind you.
He's like, you see him like feebly like kind of like he'll start to like walk forward a bit, and he's like looking through back and forth. Goes,
I'm gonna walk through the door.
You're just gonna walk through it?
Oh, he's like an old guy. I don't even feel bad.
No, he's not an old guy. He's pretty young. We can use
Johnson's an asshole.
He's a dwarf. I don't have another dwarf, so we'll just
A
use.
dwarf paladin somewhere.
We'll use this guy. He's like up there, you know, looking back and forth.
I'm gonna walk
and then
past
you're
him.
just gonna walk right.
Just inside the door.
just inside the door.
I don't know if he's gonna fit through the
No,
door.
that's okay. Just inside. What you see as you're walking in there, you see a couple of different buildings in there, or not really buildings, but walls really, that look like they made up of rooms. These walls have been broken down by something. It looks like something pretty large. There are like definite, not just like tiny holes, but like entire walls just knocked down.
Is there light in there, or is it dark?
Where you're standing right now, there is some natural light coming through just from it being daytime. There's light coming through. And what's your character's name?
In real.
In real, you would see that there's not much other light in there besides the natural source from what you can see right now.
As an elf, I have dark vision, so I can see 60 feet. I can't see colors in dim light, but I can see 60 feet.
It's definitely not.
Everybody
it's
has
not- it's not
fucking dark vision.
Yeah.
You're human.
You know what gets around dark
You don't-
vision?
you don't.
You know what breaks dark vision? Low light conditions.
Yeah. Right now, I would consider
Dark vision
it's
only
definitely
works
not-
if it's actually dark.
Yeah, it's definitely not low. It's definitely not like very low light or anything. It's like if you were to be inside of a building that had windows. You know, it's dark, but it's not dark. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna go to the door and throw a fireball up in the air to scan the area.
Just throw a firebolt in the air.
Just throw a fireball up in the air to give some light to scan the area.
Yeah. You
We
hear.
found our Ken.
You hear as he conjures up this light. How far in are you going? Are you just like
I'll go in right about where.
going right about
The
here?
dark vision is dark
Didn't
and dim
realize.
lighting.
I didn't say dim, I said low light conditions.
Still dim lighting.
So you see this fireball boom, go up and it hit the ceiling. As it hits the ceiling, you see some rubble and stuff fall down. As the light kind of streaks through, you see more broken buildings and walls that have been broken. Nothing really stands out that wasn't already necessarily clear. Fireball.
I'm gonna walk in the door and cast my produce flame cantrip.
Okay. I'm just kind of
It
holding
gives
your
me.
hand.
Yeah, what's the range of that guy?
Produce flame.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I should say on your spell there, it's probably 30 feet or self.
10-foot radius, so
10.
not much.
Alright.
But
So you can produce a flame within 10 feet of you, or you can just like hold it on your hand or something. Whatever. Use it as a torch, I guess, if you want to. So yeah. Are you also? Is everyone else falling in there, or are they?
I suppose I'm dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
I guess technically it's 20 feet because it says bright light in 10-foot radius, dim light another additional 10 feet.
Yeah.
So it's
So
20.
right in front of you, it's pretty bright.
Yeah.
Your eyes that were focusing on the dark are now just dilated, and this bright light appears. And it's
Oh,
like
great. I
It's
just fucked
like
everybody
like a
up.
flashbang or
Wait,
something.
but what about his damn
No.
firebolt that just went? Oh, I can actually throw it at creatures too. That's cool.
So now you see that you're guided by some light, and you can see more of the stone, and just see that it's some of it is mossy colored, and you see some of the doors have been knocked off and stuff like that from where you're standing.
I'm gonna whisper like, should anybody yell anything? Anybody want to yell hello?
Actually, as the Citadel was having at the same time, as that firebolt has gone off and hit the ceiling, you actually hear some people scurrying things scurrying to the somewhere in the right, further down into the cave. That's what you hear. Does anyone hear? Well, you would. You hear what sounds like bickering in Dwarvish.
In the distance.
Can I make out what they're saying, or it just sounds like?
And it sounds like shit,
Good.
fuck, shit, shit, fuck, fuck, shit, fuck. Someone's here. As they're like, it sounds like something's scrambling over there.
I think we scared them.
I'm just gonna yell hello. We're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you can go ahead and yell that. You don't hear any immediate response from you saying hello.
I follow up with, "Hey, we're here to deliver goods. Who's around?"
Yeah, so you say that and probably a minute or two goes by, which is pretty quiet, and you see that there's
This.
you see that there are two dwarves that start to kind of peek their heads. One of them, they're both males. One is older looking than the other. One looks relatively young, but for a dwarf that could be anywhere around 80 to 100 really. And you see one that's relatively older. And they both come out. One of them says, he's like, we weren't expecting any visitors. And there's another one who talks in a pretty much lower voice. And he says, what are you guys doing here? Because you scared us with your, whatever that fucking flame was. He's like, who did that? What? Who just launches fire when you're delivering goods?
Sorry about him, he's an idiot.
I'll respond in Dwarvish. I apologize for my overly aggressive companions.
He sees one guy has a spell in his hand, just holding a flame that he can throw at people. They're kind of just standing apprehensive at the moment.
We certainly are here to bring you no harm. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm actually seeking for who's in charge here, for I have a message to deliver.
You see the older one kind of pipe up and he's like, the one who's in charge died, but I guess I would be the one that's in charge. Oldest rules, one count, right? So I guess how you would say I'm in charge.
Works for me. And I draw out the letter from Harbin Wester warning them about the dragon, and with a quill ask him to sign it.
He's like, oh, great, now there's a dragon too, and he's like, fucking orcs came through here and just fucking destroyed most of the place, and dragged out whoever wasn't able to really hide that well. But of course, there's a fucking dragon we have to look out for too.
I mean, he didn't say that it was like guaranteed, but like he seems like a real upstanding dude. So
he goes, yeah, I know a lot about the town master. Yeah, here, I got his notice. I'll sign the paper.
He doesn't want to play fat. He just wants to play tug all the time.
And he says, you know, we're staking out the area a bit, and there are these. We're trying to get somewhere that's further in before we got ambushed, and it'd really mean a lot to me if you would kind of help us out. There were, I mean, besides the orcs that did come here, but hopefully they're long gone by now. Some of our people got killed by some great oozes as we were searching through the rest of this temple, or the ruins here. If you help us out, you know, we'd be really willing to split something with you, but we can't go back empty-handed, especially with all the loss that we've had.
What are we helping with? What do you need help with?
He explains, he's like, well, you must know in Phandalin that all over this apparently in these mines there's rumors of being riches and treasures. So that's what the Dwarven excavation was made for, was to try and get more of these treasures. And you see the younger guy go to him and goes, are you sure we should be explaining all of this to them? They're not just going to kill us and try and, you know, loot the place themselves.
Are they speaking in common, or are they speaking in Dwarven?
They're speaking in common, as they see that there are humans amongst the group and elves here. And he says, no, it'll be fine. Well, what do we have to lose besides our lives at this point?
How many of you are left?
He goes, oh, it's just us two.
how many of there were you?
There were about 5 of us in total.
It's a smaller number than I was expecting.
Because it's a small excavation project. Not too many of us.
What exactly were you having delivered?
It was just provisions. There's only, we gotta eat out here and stuff. We're not gonna go and hunt. I guess we could, but, And he goes, "Did you?" He points to the caravan leader, whoever it was, taking the goods, and he's like, "Did you? Are you here to deliver our stuff?" As he's the guy that usually comes through and delivers. He's like, "Yeah, I got it in the back here," and you guys would have known in the back there. You would have saw all the. They had more pickaxes and they had more food and provisions that were in the back.
Wait a minute, so this guy regularly delivers to you?
He goes, on occasion. It's
So
it's
he's
not
been
like,
here before and very clearly could have told us that your door fucking blown off was not normal.
Well, it's not like
Oh,
he
but
comes
instead
in-
he's sitting here being scared shitless, barely wanting to walk through the front door. I don't know how you guys live.
He's like,
Maybe
well,
it's for ambiance or some shit.
he was here last week. He comes about, once a week, and last week the doors were still here.
Hey, asshole, you didn't think to tell us that a week ago there was doors, now there's a door of a tenth of a door.
He's like, "Oh, forgive me, but I was shitting my pants a bit."
Well, go shit those crates in here. Now I'm not gonna help you unload it.
So you see him sulk and just kind of walk back to the caravan and start bringing some boxes in. And he's like, before he leaves, he goes, "Do you guys still need this?" He goes, "It's okay. Yeah, I'll just bring it." And he comes back out and he's slowly loading stuff. It'll probably take him like half an hour to bring some stuff in.
Did you guys find anything?
He's like, "Well, we were finding some stuff. We found a secret entrance. It didn't have anything in it, but it was kind of like a false wall that led into like a hallway. But then there was a bunch of rocks that had fallen down, and there wasn't anything really good in there. We were hoping to look and see if we can find some more." But one of the guys, he walked out into the main area, and he got eaten by a gray ooze that fell from the ceiling, so we kind of backed off.
So is that what you need our help with?
He's like, "Yeah, we'd really appreciate it."
Finding
Let's go
oozes?
exploring.
He's like, "I'll take your wizard friend here as your group's admiration, or no, I don't want you to risk your lives, but you guys look like some well-to-do adventurers. If you have the note if you must have gone to the what's his name? Sorry, I forgot to get his name. The town master's name. Harbin. He goes, if you've gone to Harbin, you must have been looking for a quest, so you must be adventurers."
We were looking for a quest, but this signed piece of paper means I get paid, so...
Didn't he say he was going to pay us?
He's gonna pay us when we go back to town.
No, I know, but didn't the dwarves say...
We mentioned something about splitting things that are found.
What's in it for us?
He goes, "Would you be willing to split half of whatever we found?"
How do we know there's going to be anything in there if you haven't found anything yet?
You don't.
So it's a gamble. We go exploring, like Wizard Man wants, then there's a chance for riches. Could be 2 gold pieces laying there. However, when we go back, we're guaranteed a payday and don't have to deal with orcs.
No, see, orcs I'm not that concerned about.
There's also a white dragon.
It's the oozes that they keep selling us drop from the ceiling.
Yeah,
How do you kill oozes?
not
How do
with
you fight?
melee weapons. Or, piercing, slashing, stuff that they take, no damage to. My bow.
Those are ochre jellies. Those are different than gray oozes.
All oozes are bad oozes.
Typically, oozes don't like to take damage from, physical things.
Not certain things.
Anything of jelly is bad news birds.
At least it's not a cube.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. But how many of us are there here? There's 7 of us.
He's not
There
invited.
was 7 of you.
No, I mean including you guys. There's
And
was
before
5.
we got here, there was 7.
no. There was 5. There was 5 in total.
So you lost one man. One of your men got killed by a noose,
Correct.
New York's got the
and
other
then
two.
and then the other 2 were killed by orcs.
Correct.
Where are the orcs now? They left.
They must have left.
They must have, or
I mean, they're not in here.
could they be where we're going?
I did highly doubt it. We were in the back of an area
Okay.
that we were looking out. I don't believe we'd be here if there were still orcs. You would probably have heard them by now too.
Well, I say we go for it.
I'll give it an hour. We'll go take a look for an hour. If an hour, and get the hell out of here.
He goes, all right, that's fair enough. He knows if it's not enough to. I mean, I appreciate it. If we could have more than an. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I would hate for you to skip out in just an hour. He goes, and he looks to his companion. He's like, these things tend to be useful for adventurers, and he goes, give him the stone. And he's like, no, we can't give it to them. And he's like, just fucking give it to him. And they each pull out 2 stones that are matching. He's like, if you help us out with this, we'll also be willing to give you each, 2 of you anyway, these sending stones. And he's like, do you guys know what sending stones are?
Those could be very useful.
And he's like,
He has one, and I have one. I can talk to him at distance.
yeah, he's like, these are things
It's
that are
basically
basically
a
like it's basically like shouting, but you whisper it into the stone, and the stone magically tells the other person.
Okay.
I say we get
Fine.
1 stone up front and get the second one after we.
He's like, well, 1 stone doesn't really do anything unless
We could
you want to
communicate
talk.
with you.
He goes, yeah, that's true.
What if we were to get separated?
He goes, you know what, that's.
Somebody ends up with an arrow in the head. I mean,
He goes, you know what, that's actually
Those
a
Greyos is
pretty good point.
sneaky archers they be.
You see the older dwarf like throw one to you.
to who?
He just throws it into the group.
Dexterity check?
Someone wants to.
An 18 on my dexterity check.
Yeah,
16.
whoever rolls the highest can catch it.
It is not an 18.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
16.
you can go ahead and just snatch it out of the air as he tosses it forward.
I don't want this. Who wants it? I just didn't want it to hit the ground. I'm gonna hand it to you.
Sure.
I mean, dexterity kind of my thing.
He's like, so I'm guessing that means you're going to help us, and not just for an hour.
No, I'm gonna go back to town and harass you through the stone place.
You the motherfucker!
Nah, it's not good. We'll help.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna draw my bow and knock an arrow.
Actually, I was gonna say, like, I think, what weapons do I have?
You have a shillelagh, I believe.
A what?
Shillelagh.
The fuck? What's a shillelagh?
It's like the best cantrip ever.
Basically, you can transform a stick, I believe, into like a long ass club, and you can start clobbering people.
It's like a 1d8 club or some shit, I
Some
think.
shit like that.
Like, it's good.
You probably have a bow as well, I think. I don't know exactly what you have, but I'm
Is
pretty
there a
sure.
way to? Where's,
Have you
oh,
seen
equipment.
some of like the broken shillelagh builds?
Oh, yeah.
It's so dumb.
You want to farm me
So
some
I
of
found
this.
my other 2 martial weapons. I have a rapier and a whip. Because
A rapier and a whip.
Oh,
A whip.
That's what I should have taken.
I have a-
because
I have a
what?
crossbow.
Because
There
whips
you go.
they're not exotic anymore.
No,
And
they're
a
martial
hand axe.
weapons,
They're
and they do
martial
lethal damage now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
It's 1d4, but it's still lethal damage.
Oh, I should have taken a whip.
that's good. That's
I
good.
have one, so you know.
I gotta grab one.
Also, he can use the whip because it's not made of metal. As a druid, metal things are bad for you.
Hey, do I have
Are
to
they?
equip this?
Traditionally, druids don't like anything made of anything not found naturally, or so anything made of metal. Depends on what edition you're in, but they lose bonuses.
Oh, I don't think that's in 5.8.
I don't know.
If it was, I'd be fucking with them all the time.
They just
Like,
start,
oh,
start
you're meditating?
Start putting coins in
I
his
put-
pockets.
yeah, I
like,
do.
you fucker got gold on you. Fucker.
That's different. Like, but if you have if you draw a metal sword, you can't use any of your divine spells.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Because-
I don't think that's in here.
I'd like come up behind him while he's meditating and put like a metal skull cap on him.
Oh, like, fuck you and your god. But yeah, so you guys head into the further into the ruins here.
So I was gonna say I'm gonna do the same thing like he did. I'm gonna pull my crossbow out, not load it up, and then I have a torch apparently.
Yeah.
In my inventory, so I'm gonna also pull out my torch.
Yeah, I have an explorer's pack, so I probably have torches. But
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure most adventurers would have a torch on them and stuff. Do you have a crossbow or a hand crossbow?
It says just crossbow light.
Okay,
So
so
light
it would be you'd need 2 hands to use your crossbow.
Oh, it is 2 hands.
So
I
you can't have a torch.
Alright,
and,
yeah.
You could pull a torch and give it to somebody else. I mean, not me because I have a bow.
I'll take your torch.
All right, here, take my torch.
Hold this.
It's hold my flaming stick.
Hold my flaming hard stick.
So yeah, you guys go through and you pass through various buildings. You see that there are, as you're now walking further in, and if you're peeking into the rooms at all, you see that there's crates and barrels that have been like smashed and shit, and there's food on the ground and it's been mashed and stuff like that. As you walk further into the cave, you can see in this area over here as they kind of lead you further back if you guys are following them. You see a partially collapsed 10-foot high wall that separates the courtyard that you're currently in from the settlement that's further ahead. 3 heaps of rubble are piled high in this area, which is the stalagmites that you see.
This does say druids will not wear armor or shields made of metal. So armors and shields made of metal you won't use.
Yeah, he wouldn't have proficiency in those anyway.
Right.
So,
Well, he has light metal and shields as proficiencies for armor.
He doesn't want that.
yeah, 3 heaps of rubble are piled high in this area. And there's a 30-foot high temple facade featuring steps rising to a stone platform, which are the stairs that you see right there. And you can see a room that's up and above behind those stairs. There's as you guys are walking up the stairs, if you're following them, you peer into the room, and it looks like it's about 30 by 30. There's 4 columns that have life-size cloaked dwarves on them as you're just at the top of the stairs. Evil grins can be seen worn on their faces of the dwarves.
It's probably a trap. If these things come to life, I'm out.
Who are these guys?
He goes, "Oh, I'm not really sure. You can go ahead and roll a intelligence check if you want to actually.
I was gonna
Or
also
history?
Or history, yeah, intelligence with history. If you want to take a look and see how good your dwarven knowledge is.
What do I do that? Abilities, senses?
It should be in your ability score.
I'm gonna roll perception to see if I can find any dwarven writing.
Oh, I do actually have.
Yeah.
Thing.
Where do you even see history in this thing? So roll
It's
against it.
intelligence plus history, and if you have proficiency, you add 2 more.
There's this.
So
It's under your skills.
19 on
Under
perception.
skills.
19 on perception.
Oh, history. Oh, okay.
On the stones.
16.
Or on the. Are you walking? How close are you getting? Are you just trying to?
I'm being pretty thorough. I've got
Pretty-
19 on my perception.
Pretty thorough. Okay. As you're just walking in, even before you go to look at the writing on the wall, or writing on the stones anywhere, you rolled so well. You're as you're taking in what's going around, you see a gray ooze that's on the ceiling, probably like towards the back, like 30 feet back, and up on the ceiling.
Can I
as
shoot
you're
the
going
ooze?
back. Yeah, you can certainly shoot the ooze.
Well, that's crap. Let's see. Do I add dexterity modifier to my attack roll or no?
I believe that's how that
Yeah,
works.
I think it's how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how
Plus
it works.
proficiency, plus I have a thing that gives me 2 more. So I add 9 to all of my ranged rolls.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
I have a dexterity modifier of 5, plus proficiency of 2,
Right.
plus I have a fighting stance of archery,
Right.
which is a plus 2 to all ranged attack rolls.
Jesus Christ.
So I have an 18 to my attack roll.
Yeah, I mean, that'll definitely hit. Yeah.
And what do I roll, or what do I add to my damage, or is it just straight dice? Is it also dexterity?
I gotta say, I'm not super good with the character rules here, but it's probably like.
It's just the dex modifier for your damage.
Just dexterity, not proficiency?
No.
Okay. So, in that case, I do
You might have
11
a
damage.
How
11
much?
piercing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna shoot my bow.
Yeah. Easy enough.
So, if anybody didn't notice me shoot the bow, go fuck yourself. And
Is this something we can hear? Can we hear the bow go off?
You would probably hear it go.
and if you looked over at me, I'm kind of sitting
release.
there with my bow released.
And how much was that? 11 damage, you said?
11 damage.
Yeah.
Piercing damage.
You see, your arrow strike pretty well into it. I'm not sure how much damage it really. It's ooze. You see the arrow go in and slow it down as it hits it, and then it kind of sinks through and falls back down. And you see it slowly start to crawl up across the ceiling. We'll have everyone roll initiative then at this point.
I got
Oh yeah, what did you
unnatural
want?
20 for history.
You speak Dwarvish, so you probably know at least a little bit about the dwarves.
I like to pretend that I do.
Yeah. You would get the sense that you're not sure exactly what the dwarves are exactly representing, but you can definitely tell that they remind you of greed. That this looked familiar when you were glancing over some book you read, and you remember it had something to do with greed. But you're not pretty sure exactly what it is.
Did you say roll initiative?
Yeah, so you should be able to
Where
just
the hell
click
is that?
the initiative thing. I should probably draw
Oh, I see it up at the top.
the map that you guys are going to be fighting in.
So die 20 roll plus dexterity?
Or, yeah, I think your dex is like 2, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's
Proficiency
It is.
plus dex, I think.
roll, so
I think so.
Roll 20.
Ooh, I have a message.
I had 19.
I got
Just
16.
kidding. I didn't get any of that.
I'm probably going first.
Probably.
Apparently, this thing tells
damn.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I can just see all your rolls.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, I guess I can't cheat now.
I'm still rolling outside of the game, so.
That's I typically roll inside the campaign if there's a lot of fucking monsters and I don't feel like rolling 5,000 dice. Which is sometimes what happens. Not in this case, though.
Anyway, initiative 19.
I said 19.
So what's the modifier that adds to the roll? For
It's your dexterity. plus
just
your-
dexterity? Or plus proficiency?
I believe it's just your dexterity, because I don't think you can be proficient in initiative.
And I got a 20.
I have a 20 then too.
Oh.
I'm very dexterous.
Oh, I got a notification.
I do not have any gray oozes.
Cole
I'm
just
gonna
rolled.
use-
You added a picture, you.
I'm going to use a D6
Yeah.
there to represent the gray
Yeah,
ooze.
picture.
You want to put it in the back? Yeah, that's about
Do
good.
that.
You guys can place yourselves in the room or on the stairs or wherever you think you might have
I haven't
been.
entered the room yet. I'm just kind. Well, actually, I wanted to look at the statues, but I'm there. That's where I am.
Okay.
I don't know what Overlord is. He's been very quiet. He's just kind of like hanging out.
You in the room?
Yeah, he's in the room already shooting.
Yeah.
You might know with your passive perception. You heard an arrow knock and go boop, and hit the gray ooze as you now pretty much located. Everyone was able to, once something goes off, you probably would have. Would you have said something or no? Wouldn't have said anything.
No, he very
Specifically
clearly.
did not say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saw the ooze, shot the ooze,
So did I?
reloaded.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I don't know if we have to like go in order.
We will, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So if you wouldn't have said anything, sorry, I missed that. They're up here. They'll be right there. Who
So
is?
would I have heard him like from the beginning when he knocked the arrow and fired?
Well, I
it?
knocked the arrow before we even walked.
Got there
closer.
before he even walked in.
So I saw the
he
ooze
was,
and I had it
he
ready.
was, he was
to fire.
probably 30 feet away. I don't.
Oh.
Could you hear an arrow 30 feet away from you being fired? I don't know.
Well, also, I am within line of sight, and if he's behind me, as everybody
you
appears
know,
to be,
yeah, they probably would have seen you at least like put your
yeah.
hand up and take
And-
me.
I'm
yeah.
just wondering if
And
like,
or
I
notice
see where
passively
he
that I don't
shot
have
it
an
to
arrow
go
in my
see.
bow anymore, and I did moments ago.
That's true. Yeah, you would probably know that he fired it. You probably wouldn't have seen him fire it, but you would have seen that.
Oh, my
that
character's a
fire.
check, by the way, if that changes things.
Leave him alone.
It's important.
Um,
Because that's the miniature.
so
Did you find a lady miniature?
Yeah.
did I roll? Okay. So who's first? Let me write down the shit.
I got a
here.
20.
I'm gonna 20. And this guy got.
What'd you roll?
I got 16, but plus 4 is 20.
Were we rolling?
Initiative roll.
Wizard.
It's a die 20
What's your
plus
character's name again? Sorry.
INRYL. INRYL.
I got 19.
I don't know what your character's name
Really
is.
nice.
Overlord.
Overlord.
You know the.
Even the computer dice fucking hate me. I got a 10.
10. All right. I should probably roll for these guys too. Well, that's dog shit. That's also pretty dog shit. What's your dex modifier? Just determine who goes before. After you get the same rolls you.
2.
2, you will go first.
Oh! Oh!
Um,
Second shit, let's go!
In real, you would be first up to go. As you see the ooze starting to look like it's moving forward in reaction to whatever.
I'm gonna shoot again.
Yeah.
That's complete and utter garbage. 12.
Average plus an 8 though. Will
Plus a 9.
probably hit level 2.
12.
Yeah, that will hit. Be surprised if you don't hit much.
12 for damage.
12 damage. Yeah. You see this as your arrow goes and strikes in. You see it kind of you see parts of it drip down and drip and furthermore drip and drip and drip as it starts to lose all of its form. It looks like it has died. From rolling a 12 and then whatever 11 beforehand.
I just
for a
did
total
23 damage to
23
it.
damage to it. Looks like it has died.
I just killed a gray.
I see that you're playing Skyrim.
I see I should start buffing some things up here.
Oh god, there's
I mean,
so
I
No, we
garbage.
suck.
I'm garbage at everything that isn't archery, so
Archers just happen to be really fucking good.
Oh,
especially at low levels.
So yes, you saw the thing. The thing died. Currently, there doesn't seem to be any more.
But I do say that I just killed a great thing.
They would have seen the dripping, I think, and heard it go. And seen like black ichor falling from the ceiling. They probably would have seen that. Both your arrows fall back down on the ground. Because they're still there. If you want to pick them up or not.
I will when it's my action.
Well, we're not. You don't. At this moment, you don't perceive any other threat in the area right now. So I would say we don't need to be in initiative order anymore. The thing is that single-handedly.
Hey, Overlord. Do me a favor. Throw one of those Hail Mary fireballs at the ceiling again.
Alright.
It is a little bit more dark in here. I should have mentioned that. It's not.
We'll
pitch
throw
black.
a fireball across the room to the back corner ceiling.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole ceiling.
What color are your spells again? Are they purple? Did you say you want to make them purple or whatever?
I didn't say I wanted to make it any color.
Well, last time threw something that was like blue or purple. Your fireball was like blue or purple, wasn't it? It doesn't matter what color it is. I'm just asking.
I think
We'll go with blue fire, I guess.
Okay.
I know my shit was purple.
Yours was blue and purple.
The blue flames.
But yeah, you see a blue flame flying across.
Sure.
You look and see the foreshadows, and their expressions even more exacerbated as you can see the different levels of light go across them as it's shooting across. The flame would probably produce bright light and dim light for 30 feet, as it then smacks the back of the wall. That's where you were aiming, correct?
Yeah, the back top ceiling corner.
As it goes through and smacks the back, it doesn't hit the wall, but what it does hit is a limestone altar that stands at the further end of the room. Nothing else really stands to seem of note within the area, and nothing seemed to react to the fireball that got bolted out there. But come to your attention now is definitely this altar that is right there on the ground.
I'll walk up to the base of the altar.
I'm gonna follow him and retrieve my arrows in the process.
Yeah. You actually hear from the dwarves in the back. They go, "Oh no, fuck this shit!" you see them like just cowering a little bit, behind whoever is in front of them. And they're like, "Again with the fucking fireballs!"
You asked us
No
for
warning or nothing. they're just like sitting there on edge in case anything else happens.
Will you two calm down?
I'm gonna look through the ooze, search check on the ooze to see if I find anything else that dropped other than my arrows.
Give me an investigation check, and then and you're following them up. Are you two doing anything?
I'm gonna follow, but I want to stop and look at the statues
Uh-huh.
and investigate them.
Shit in the middle.
I'm with Overlord.
That was one of the dwarves. That's you.
You don't see anything that was within the ooze.
What'd you do?
I'm next to you. I'm following you.
It seems that everything that was within the ooze as dripped came out. You're looking for something specific, or just looking
Just
for
anything else that it may have picked up. It did kill two. It may or may not have killed a dwarf, so it may have some kind of loot on it.
Back grab.
No, you didn't see anything on there within this one.
I mean, I have 5 weapons. What do you want from me?
And yes, you wanted to go and look at the statues, and as you're looking closer at the statues, you see some of them say in Dwarven, "Greed is good." Another one of them says, "Take even what is not yours." Another one of them says, "You can never have too much of anything." And the other one doesn't have any writing on it. As you guys go up to the altar, you notice that this altar is blood-stained. As you walk up to it, it is still sealed, or at least the thing to the altar is closed. It's basically like a sarcophagus. Not a sarcophagus, but like, you know what altar looks like. You push the top off, whatever. But it is currently is closed. It is covered in blood. Blood is red.
Did you just say blood is red?
The blood is red. Blood can be
Meaning
not
that
red.
meaning that it's fresh.
Meaning that it's red.
Meaning that it's red in color.
And different creatures have potential to have different colored bloods.
Oh, okay.
It's like how, in Alien vs. Predator, it could be green, it could be purple, it could be...
Some creatures in the Creature's Handbook specifically say they have different colored bloods, which to somebody who knows what those creatures are means something.
Yeah.
Because how far away is the sarcophagus?
You're currently right in front of it, but it is roughly... How far away from what?
How far away am I from the sarcophagus?
You went right up to it. That's the altar.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the altar.
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
if it was like we're at steps and it's at the top or something.
Does the blood look like it's like supposed to be there, or like it just happens to be there?
Give me a...
Well, you're not next to it, so you don't know.
I walked through and looked at the statues on my way there.
Yeah, I mean, he's He's pretty like 10 feet away from it. Like he's next to the statue. Give me a perception check.
Just thinking if we could do this in like VR
They have some of
It's
it.
a thing now.
There's a new.
and like be walking through it and like throw spells.
There's a new game out that this is all on the computer, and you can move your miniatures and be in combat and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
pretty
an
much just
alpha.
pretty much just like a dungeon crawl
Yeah.
kind of thing.
There's one that's an alpha. You can build your
Are
own
you
dungeons and
under
save them. If somebody else wants to
skills?
use yours, they can take it and use it to their
Investigation.
own and everything.
There's
Or,
another
um,
one that's on like an
perception.
iPad or
You go to
something.
skills.
The dungeon keeps moving.
Yeah.
Perception's right there.
Yeah.
You just click on it.
18.
18. The altar, it definitely does look like it was not purposely placed there. It looks like blood splattered, and also it looks like something had like died almost against it. Looks like the blood could have been either put there first by the person dying, and you assume the blood splatter would have been probably from a slashing wound of some sort.
I push the cover open.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
All right, what's that?
Die 20 plus your
D20
strength
plus your
modifier.
strength modifier.
Ouch.
Oh man, you see
Pretty
him
much any roll you're just gonna
struggling.
generically make is gonna be a die 20
He's
plus
like-
some kind of modifier.
You see this scrawny wizard. I think strength's your lowest attribute, isn't it?
It is definitely mine.
I bet it's better than my strength stat.
I
Not
think
by
you
much.
all are relatively weak people.
We can work together.
Yeah, I have 0.
You have plus your own strength, yeah.
Yeah.
So you see you're like you see him, this scrawny wizard boy with his fucking like a staff and a book, and he's like trying to push it, and it's not even fucking budging. He's breaking a sweat. Nothing's happening.
Someone get up here and help me.
I'm gonna laugh at him and just like call him a pussy. Start pushing myself.
Yeah, go ahead and give
Roll with
me.
Is there 2 of them?
Yeah, you can roll with advantage if you want to try and open it up.
Wait, roll.
You roll two
Strength.
d20s.
What am I rolling now?
Rolling a d20 and add your strength modifier, and roll the dice twice, and take the higher of the two numbers.
Oh god, I just.
Just roll
What's
the
your
physical
strength
dice.
modifier?
Okay.
What's your strength modifier?
So it says +1 for strength.
Yes, that's your modifier. So you need 2 die 20s.
Okay.
Roll them both. You have advantage, so take which one's bigger.
16.
Add
So
one
how
to
do
it,
how come I have advantage?
because there are 2 of you pushing on the same thing.
Because you're
Okay.
You're
so
not doing it by
16.
yourself. Plus your modifier of 1 is
So
a 17.
17.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you see, as you're pushing it, you see that Winston's side is going exponentially faster and being pushed. As your side is actually moving towards you as it's pivoting. Still pushing as hard as your might. It is seemingly pivoting.
Well, there goes my idea. I was gonna reach up there and cut you unless you bleed on it and see if that did anything, but
That's not very nice.
nobody said I had to be nice.
Seems reasonable to me.
There's blood on it. I mean, maybe blood activated something.
Maybe.
So within the sarcophagus, or within the altar, you see what looks like a small skeleton. Looks roughly of dwarf size. Not exactly sure if it is a dwarf, but it's of that small creature's size. It is a complete skeleton at this point. Within it is an axe you would use like to cut down a tree, placed across the chest. You also see 2 rings that are on the fingers.
I take both the rings.
I'm gonna fight you over them.
Yeah, you're onto there.
Hey, friend of yours?
I'm gonna say he should have first action on it because he was the one who pushed it open.
Oh, actually, no, yeah, you are. Yeah, so you could.
Then you're
yeah,
the next
you,
one to see.
You could definitely.
I'm taking both rings.
You could fight over them for sure.
Yeah, he definitely saw them. He was next to
He
you.
definitely saw them, and you could definitely both make an opposed dexterity check if you're gonna
we
both
saw
reach for
you
them.
grab something.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an
Unless you
opposed
do a sneak
dexterity
check.
check for me.
A dexterity?
So you each roll a dexterity roll.
With
And add your modifier. Whoever
Okay.
rolls the highest gets
9.
to at least grab it first.
Plus your dexterity modifier. So
So 8.
8.
I win!
Do you? What'd you
Yeah.
roll?
I got a 5 plus my 4.
Hey, yes.
9 to an 8.
9 to an 8. Yeah, you see his
What a dump stat your dex was.
you pushed it open and you're like, ooh, and you start to reach your hand down and he's like, mine, and just like, so you reach in there and you're like just so worried about getting them, you like rip 2 fingers off, you just take them with you with the rings.
That's fine.
I hate you.
Yeah, and you're shouting back to the other dwarves.
Yeah, I am.
And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about unless it's one of our dead brethren that are over there. I do not believe any of us would have been put inside a coffin.
Well, it's definitely dead.
They
Brethren, I can't answer that question.
they come up and start to peer into the coffin and look in. And they're like, yeah, no, I don't think any one of us would be a complete skeleton at this point. It's only been a day. I don't think remains usually decompose that fast.
Are there any inscriptions on the sarcophagus?
You see a couple of dwarven faces, and you see writing on it that would have been similar to what would have been found in the statues.
If I shoot you,
my
bow,
like,
you can
greed
attack
is
back
good.
because I'm within 5 feet.
There's never
However,
so much
if I'm
as
more than
enough.
5 feet away, you get an attack of opportunity.
But
So if I
you
shoot
shoot
with
back.
my
So you said there was also an axe or something? in there?
There is an
trust them.
axe.
I'm just gonna take it and grumble or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I have an axe, I guess.
Being up in think spaces is not good for me. I'm gonna be a little bit away.
And I'm sorry, as you were checking out were you just looking at the writing on the village? You were just looking at the writing and seeing what was on them, or were you like thoroughly inspecting the
I was trying to respect them.
Okay. And you rolled a 19.
We go outside?
Yes.
Outside?
You would have noticed on the pillar that is the second pillar. That was on the second pillar. You would have noticed that there is. It looked sort of like a false. Like a false skin on the wall on one side of the pillar. And if you push it, it seems to be that your hand kind of just goes right through it.
Like not like moving it, like just
through it. And if you fish around in there, fish around and look inside, you see you pull out a couple gold coins as you're pulling out. You can continue to look further in there if you want to, but you swished your hand around in there and felt something semi-cold and pulled it out and pulled out like 3 gold coins. It felt like there might have been more stuff in there.
Well, which statue is this?
This is the one that's
So one that you and I are standing next to?
the second one. If you choose to grab it, I don't want to make assumptions and say that you would have grabbed it out.
What's the inscription?
The inscription on the second one would have said take not whatever the second said. I think the second one I said was
Take that even.
Take even what is not yours.
yes.
Well, the statue told me to. So I guess we're gonna keep fishing around in there.
Yeah. So if you keep fishing around there, you will find probably take the better of like 30 seconds to pull shit out as they're all inspecting the sarcophagus or whatnot. 15 gemstones and 3 people watching. And the 3 gold coins that you pulled out. So you pulled out another 15 gemstones. They're all various colors. Not sure exactly how much they're worth, but they look really shiny. And look like they could be expensive.
I like
Various
shiny.
shapes of like emerald and ruby and things of that nature. They're not terribly large. They're probably about the size of like I don't know, like 2 of these dice together would be 1.
It's a pretty big gemstone.
You find about 15 of them.
This feels like a trap. So I'm gonna keep looking for more stuff.
Yeah, certainly. within the pillar, or have you told anyone about this, or are you just gonna start like looking around the area? Or are you specifically inspecting more pillars and stuff of that nature?
I'm gonna fish this pillar one more time, and then I'm gonna move to another pillar.
Okay. Oh, you
Or
fish the pillar
move around, though.
and go around again.
He doesn't want you licking.
And you don't feel anything else that is within the pillar. As you go to the next couple of ones, and you're searching for a false wall or something of that nature, anything you can push and get into, none of the other pillars seem to have anything in them. You guys look around and you see you see him kind of going around and like touching all the pillars as he's walking around. He's probably doing this for. It's probably going to take you like 5 or 10 minutes to go through the rest of the 3 pillars. So for 5 or 10 minutes, you see him kind of look around and prodding the pillars.
I'm just gonna stand in the middle of the room and keep an eye out, like keep a watch in case there's something else comes near.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Perception is wisdom, so 20. Not natural.
Not natural. Nothing else while you're standing in the middle and looking around seems to pique your interest. You see the dwarven guys come up from behind, and they take a look around, and they're like, "All right, it looks like it's mostly safe here. All right, we should probably start looking for the treasure, or hopefully whatever we find here." And he goes, "We found one of the false walls, which you would have saw as you were walking through. He told you about it earlier. He's like, we found it by kind of going across the walls and like just like kind of hitting them with our pickaxes, and one of the walls had fallen with enough force given to it. So I'd recommend that we split up and start scouring the walls, or the floors." And he looks around and he looks at you. He's like, "This guy's got the right idea. He's looking at everything." As you're like parsing the pillars.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna take my newly acquired axe and go to the wall that's behind the sarcophagus and check it out.
Oh, and before I leave the first pillar, I want to use the pillar
The second pillar?
The second pillar, yeah. I want to use the pillar as concealment to pocket the gemstones and the gold coins.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. Ooh, is that a 1?
It is.
Ouch. I don't know if anyone really would have been looking at you exactly, but it definitely, even when people passive perceptions, I mean, we'll say that you're putting stuff in your pocket, and you one of them like falls on the floor, and you kind of look around and you pick it up and put it back in your pocket. It makes like a little like tink sound. You're on a stone floor. It's not terribly loud. It's not like metal, but definitely sounds like something had hit the floor.
Hey, somebody just dropped something?
It wouldn't have been super loud,
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, you might have
Just
been
kidding.
or something.
And then I put it all back.
So you see the dwarves kind of sky around. Oh, you want to hit the wall in the back. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Just roll a d20 and add. Are you proficient in? You're probably proficient in simple weapons, aren't you?
I don't think he could.
I don't think you.
I don't think he can wield an axe.
He can. It says armor and shields that are made of metal. He can.
Yeah, he can wield the weaponry, but.
But axe is the most anti-forest weapon of them all.
It is.
Got a wood handle.
Yeah. It's
So,
Yeah, it uses its murdered brethren.
it's like, alright, so under my proficiency, under weapons, it says club, dagger, dart, javelin, long. There's nothing in here that says axe or anything.
Oh, it's probably
They
a
say
simple-
martial or simple.
I think
or
an axe is
anything
a
like
simple weapon.
It doesn't say simple.
Probably.
Alright, so
That. Let me see this book.
I mean, I feel like you probably have proficiency with a simple weapon. Just go ahead and roll your d20. He'll look it up, but for the meantime, it doesn't necessarily really matter.
I like how light this.
Here, roll one of these.
Oh yeah, that's much better. I could probably kill you if I threw this in your face.
Probably not.
Here you go.
13
I
and
think the
then
metal that's
Those are
heavier.
devil dice.
13 and then do I add something to it?
They roll like shit for me. I mean, they all roll like shit for me.
well, if you add +2 for
Doubly
your
so the bigger they
proficiency.
get.
So 15.
What's my proficiency
plus-
bonus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
all right.
So you're going and you go and you strike the wall, and it doesn't look like it really does too much as a slashing weapon against the stone wall, and you see it kind of ching right off the stone. The dwarfs look at you and they go, I'd either use something that's more heavy hitting or maybe like a pickaxe or something. You could probably check the back, or I think the guy dropped off some pickaxes. We were supposed to get some more. You could probably check in with him and see if there are any extras. He looks and as you pull out the hammer, he goes, "Yeah, a hammer would work, but I think it might not do terribly well against the stone wall. But to each his own to try."
I don't have anything.
You are not proficient with an axe of any kind.
Oh, okay. So that didn't happen.
It wouldn't happen anyway. Yeah.
But you can still swing. You just don't get your proficiency modifier.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you can use anything. You're just not proficient with it.
Gotcha.
And if in certain circumstances, like if it's under pressure or something, he may tell you to roll at a disadvantage. So you roll 2 die 20 and take the lower value.
Mm-hmm.
But that's up to his discretion.
I don't think I punch you that badly.
Depends on the situation.
Depends on the weapon, though. Depends on the weapon.
You do have proficiency with long sword, short bow, longbow, because you're an elf, because you're a wood elf.
Yeah.
So
You're really good at shooting shit. And hunting shit, basically. The dwarves are going around and they're tapping on the walls and they haven't really found anything yet as they're going through. Does anyone want to search with them? Or are you kind of watching them? Or what are you guys doing?
I will pick up a rock and start tapping it along the walls, like in the opposite direction of the dwarves.
Yeah. As you're tapping the walls, go ahead and give me a investigation
nobody's gonna
check.
attack us from behind and without me knowing.
Or I guess if are you tapping to listen for something, or what are you tapping?
Like, I'm tapping to see if it makes
Hear a
any sound
difference.
where I can like hear the difference.
Okay.
See if
You
they
can
tell.
choose between perception or investigation.
They're probably the same, but let's see. Go away.
Well, one's intelligence, one's
Oh,
wisdom.
no, perception is 4. So 14.
14. You're going through.
Also, my passive perception.
You're going through and you're tapping, and some parts sound like they might be hollow. Some parts don't. You're not really too sure, and it kind of all sounds similar to you. But you're going through and you're tapping. You don't necessarily find anything though as you're tapping through. You get the sense that there probably is something here, but you're just not able to pinpoint where it is. But as the dwarves are looking at you and they see you're like looking over one spot, and then moving on to the next, and they're like, oh, why don't we follow him? And they're like kind of tapping along with you, like, oh, that's a great idea. And you see, but instead of tapping with like a rock, they're like tapping with like one of their pickaxes, and they're tapping it. And you see one of them, the younger one, she's like, oh, fuck this, and just swings his axe as hard as he can. Let's see.
You know, I could do that too if I had a fancy tapping stick.
Not very well. You see him kind of ting off, but does enough to where you could see this tiniest of hole, and it looks as if the guy looks in and he's like, I think I found something here. As you can see, like the littlest chip in the wall, but behind it, it doesn't look like there's anything behind the hole that the pickaxe had kind of chipped right through, and you see a spider web kind of start to crack a little bit through it.
Can I shoot the spot with Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
I will first advise them to stand away from the wall.
I'm standing in the doorway, making sure nothing comes up from behind us.
Last time I did this, I exploded a door. 17 to hit.
Yeah. You see, it's not exact where exactly on the dot is, but it's really close.
Yay. 3.
3.
3
You see
force damage.
You see, the Eldritch Blast strikes, and you see, it kind of bounce and fizzle, and you see the crack seemingly gets a little bit larger as the crack grows wider. The dwarf, the younger one goes, I'm gonna keep hitting it, and you see him like run up and go and strike it. If anyone wants to join him while he's running up and striking it, you're just gonna watch him kind of run up and hit it there.
I don't do manual
I'll just
labor.
watch him. I don't have any weapons.
You see him.
I don't think any of us are real good at the whole
I can only assist with my free spells.
You see him run up and see everyone's just looking at him. He's like, okay, and runs up and slams it with his pickaxe, and you see it a bigger hole starts to appear, and you see it. He starts kicking at it and stuff and knocking more of the loose stuff away, and you can see one of the passages open. That would be like right about.
Man, how much of a dick could I have been if I took mend?
And you look, and you see a passage that comes out here, and juts out. I don't know the space here, but it juts out to the left and to the right there. As they go.
What do you need?
The dwarves.
Oh, they're over there.
Oh, yeah. And you see the younger one kind of come through and look, and he says, yeah, I think this is one of the similar to the one that we had found earlier. He's looking to the left and to the right. You see him kind of go to the right there. You don't see him come out for a bit. It's like a minute or two, and you can hear things moving in the back. But you don't see him come out for a bit. Do you wait there for him to come out? Like 2 minutes goes by, you still hear him throwing stuff around. And he goes, it seems like a lot of rocks had fallen here, but I'm gonna keep digging through here and seeing if anything of note or if I can find anything in here.
I'm gonna go with him.
Miguel, don't be a hero, kid.
Yeah, you can go if you want to make an investigation check. Or if you want to just kind of look around the room, you can roll perception. Or if you want to help dig.
I'll do perception.
Stay with Old Man Dwarf.
Old Man Dwarf. Old Man Dwarf goes, alright, come with me, you seem pretty useful.
How do I do perception?
As he starts banging
Roll that 20.
on the walls.
If you're proficient at 2 and plus
And you
your
see
wisdom
on the other side, you see as he is cracking through as they're looking, you see another part of the wall just crack and kind of spider web. As he shouts out, as he'd be sort of on this side over here. You see it like it starts to spider web over there, and he goes, "If I could get some assistance over here, can you do one of those purple fucking blasty shits?"
I'll say, I got you, and I come over and blast a fireball.
As soon as you go, I got that, he just runs. He fucking runs.
Blast a fireball.
I have use!
Fucking runs. Yeah, go ahead.
Nobody thought to take, like, dancing lights or anything that produces, like, fireballs!
I don't have magics.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your attack on it.
Roll
Roll a d20.
16
Go ahead.
plus what?
Magics have probably don't.
D10?
That's damage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
I don't know what one's a D10.
I don't know if it does this, but...
Oh, this one. 4.
4. You see the the fire hit it, and you see the rocks start to heat up. It doesn't really do any force damage to the wall. It doesn't seem to push or impact it super hard, but you see this fire come flying at it, and you see the flames kind of spark out. It looks really cool. Doesn't look like it changed anything on the wall, though.
Can I keep shooting at it?
Yeah, if you want to, you can keep shooting at it.
I'm gonna alternate shooting Eldritch Blast.
Yeah,
and
as you
fireballs.
yeah, go ahead.
Just for shits and giggles.
We're not gonna make you guys keep rolling unless you really want to.
Well,
But
I'm gonna take a 10.
For a couple of shots here, you see you're
that one's a
fighting
9.
it, and you see the fire starting
damage.
spreading further, and it gets this interesting effect of where you're pushing it, and he's heating the rocks up, and it's almost like it's melting a bit as the force is pushing through it. And eventually you crack it and create a hole. It's almost as if the heating up makes it almost a little bit harder for it to break.
It's the dumbest thing we've ever done, man. I love it.
But eventually the hole starts to crumble out. You see, as you guys were searching back there, you guys would have come across another. You see like a little statue. And it's really tiny. It's like this big, and it's a little tiny dwarf. It's just a statue. It looks like it's made out of some higher quality stone that's on the ground. It has an inscription on it in Dwarven. I'm not sure if either of you read Dwarvish.
I didn't figure my languages. So
I didn't either.
But that's what you see. You don't see
Those guys.
anything else there yet.
Yes.
Okay.
We're with the little
You are
dwarf.
with the dwarf. One of you, I'd say probably would have found it.
He was in front.
Certain.
I'm standing behind him,
We're
looking
hanging out
on
with
the
Grandpa
like kind of
Dwarf.
looking the other way.
Oh, you
I
were
didn't know if we
looking?
saw the statue.
You were
or
looking.
they saw the
Okay.
statue.
We're just making
And
holes.
we'll say that you find it as you're kind of digging through.
I'm not far from him.
No, you're just like right behind him, right next.
I'm more looking for people and things that may kill us.
things that
Than,
will kill. Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna look at it and see that it's in Dwarven, and I'm gonna ask the dwarf who's with me. Right.
And as you pick it up and look at it, you see that it has a similar kind of face as to what the other stone scriptures have on it, which is more of like an evil, kind of like
He's gonna find some great
angry
shit.
face.
I figured it would have had a pressure switch and blown up on him and killed him.
But that's what you see. And you hand it off to him.
I don't
Just
hand it to
say
him.
shit like that.
I just ask him, what's this say?
He looks at it and he looks
Just
real
me,
close. He's like, why don't we bring it into some better light? I'm kind of having a hard time.
Oh, then the next, I just pull out my
reading it.
flame.
Okay, yeah. You
Scare the living shit out of him.
Feeble shit. Pulls it out, and he reads it, and it says, what would it say? It would say something along the lines of he's loosely translating it into common, and it says, whatever you want, grab.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. Whatever I want, grab. Is there anything else in the room?
That was the only thing that you saw within the room that it had crumbled.
Does the room continue, or is there nothing else in it?
No, it seems to be that was. It looks there's a lot of rocks that have fallen through. You might be able to dig through, but it seems like it would take a long time to dig through.
And none of us are very strong.
All those
We have a
rocks.
system for that.
And I guess we'll rotate back to you guys over here. As you guys are going through the area here, where did I put my stone here? You see that this room kind of goes this, kind of hobbles like that, there, goes through this way, and there's a door. As you guys, if you guys walk through there, that's what you will see.
How far away is the door?
The door is, if you're walking through the hallway and into it, it's roughly 20 feet from the corner.
Or from where we were?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go up and push the door lightly to see if it opens.
Yeah, the door does not push open at you. You can hear it like hook, as if it's seemingly feels like it's locked.
I'll back up and throw a firebolt at it.
Is there a
Yeah,
countdown?
I will say of note that the door is stone. I should have specified that it's not wood.
Who has stone doors?
Dwarves
Dwarves.
Be a dwarf.
and dragons that take over dwarven.
So you can still launch a fireball at it, no problem for sure. You see the door kind of light up in this blue flame, but it stands there once the flame disappears.
I don't like the Sam I am.
So there's nothing else over by us?
Nothing else in that area, no.
While they're doing this, can we migrate back to the main hall?
For sure, yeah.
You agreed that's what you...
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think we should leave and start moving towards. I was thinking about moving towards them or
We don't know where they went at this point.
No, okay, all right.
I mean, we can
So-
see now that we came out
You can
there,
see,
but...
as you walk in, you see another entrance. And you would have heard the crash, bang, fireball, eldritch, but you would have definitely heard shit going on in the back.
Well, we didn't know what they were doing. We were in our own little...
Yeah, but you would have, you probably would have known with some, intuition that like,
Just some
there's a new
creative
hole here. Some people are missing it. Probably
pathfinding.
went through the hole and went through and found something.
Oh, did
You
their
s-
dwarf go with them, or is he still hiding?
The other dwarf would have, once he heard the fireball go through, he would have peered in, and he says, "All right, now dwarves are sometimes tricky. I assume this is more of a dwarven room based off of what we've seen here." And he goes, "I would, you could press upon the walls. Maybe there's like some kind of hidden, switch or something of that nature."
Booby traps.
Or booby traps, one of the two. Hopefully the
In a
one and
narrow
not
hallway.
the other. That is true. We are in a hallway. Why don't we just send one person? Purple.
Purple.
I'll investigate the little side alcove thing.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation. Is there anything you're investigating or specifically doing?
No.
Or just general. Are you just like touching a bunch of shit? Or what
I'm like-
are you digging through rocks? Or are you
Well,
have mage hand too, don't you? I mean,
I do.
You have mage hand.
Well, isn't that a wall? Or like a little side room, or is that
It
just
is.
something
It
like
looks like
collateral?
it looks like a little alcove. It kind of looks like rocks have fallen through it. It looks like it's just like a crumbled wall, sort of, that has backed, has collapsed.
So it doesn't look purpose-built.
It doesn't look personal.
Oh, okay. Then fuck that room. Fuck that side. I'm gonna go back into the main room and let Overlord do the investigations.
Overlord, what would you?
Well, you're closer, so
That's true.
I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant.
Okay. Is that a level 1 spell?
It is a level 1.
And what does that let you do?
This spell creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless, medium force that performs simple tasks at your command until the spell ends. The servant springs into existence in an unoccupied space on the ground within range, has an AC 10, 1 hit point, and strength of 2. It can't attack. If it drops to 0, the spell ends.
Okay. What would you like it to do?
I would like it to start pushing against the wall as I slowly back to the corner.
Which wall? Do you tell it which wall to push?
The walls in this room near the door.
Just against the walls. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. It's got a 2 strength. Go ahead and give me a strength roll. It's pushing against it and give it a -4, right? With a 2. Strength. It would have a -4 modifier. It's not very strong,
it's real good at serving wine though.
but
I mean, if it's just looking for a loose stone to push, then it should
it
be
might. Yeah. Just give me a D20 roll and subtract 4 from the
Yeah,
roll.
I mean, it's not like it needs to move the lid of a sarcophagus or something.
So 8?
8. You see it. Well, you wouldn't see it.
I
Going
see
around
it.
and pushing. All right. Do you see it? Yeah, I thought you left. Oh, are you peeking around the corner?
No,
looking at it?
I'm just right at the corner here,
Okay.
sending it over there to.
Yeah, you see it making its way around
Doing corner guy shit.
and pushing stuff. You see that one stone as it's going through kind of pushes in a little bit as it's rushing through, and then you see a giant firewall just come on. You see the thing go as it just slowly disappears.
Okay.
You see it like reach his hand out to you.
Master.
Did it unlock the door?
You hear a
Did this fucking door just drop?
and you can hear the door. You would probably see as you peer over the door slowly start to kind of fall.
Sweet.
So you all hear the rumbling that happens as the door starts falling, and you also hear a and see what presumably is flame flying across one of the empty hallways over there. And the door has fallen down.
I'm walking over towards him. Can I do that?
Well, you can get to there.
There you
There's a
go.
dwarf in your way.
I'm gonna go up to the door and peek in the room.
Yeah. As you peek into the room, you see a bed, you see a wardrobe, you see another door that leads up to the right. I'm out of space to draw stuff, so you see
I mean, we
another.
can erase and start down here if you want.
It should be fine. If anything happens, I'll draw something. You see a door to the right, and you see what looks like a mannequin. You see on the mannequin, you see a red leather armor on the mannequin. That's about it. That's what you see within the room, along with the door. This door is wooden. This door doesn't look like a stone door. It looks like a normal door.
None of us can join you. There's a dwarf in the way.
Go in the
Wait,
room.
Not the dwarf is standing in the hallway because you never said he left, so none of us can get past
You
the
can
dwarf.
walk past the dwarf. Well, let's see if everyone wants to go into the room, they can go into the room.
No, let the door stay in the way. That's
The dwarf's like,
You just walked
none
all
shall
over.
pass! Fuck you! Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, alright, let's go.
Cool. Then I'm right
Bring
here.
the dwarf with us.
Yeah.
Little dwarf come too?
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
Everyone wants to join, everyone can join in the room.
Chris.
Pitfall. No. Yeah, so you all see the same bed in a wardrobe, and you see a mannequin with red leather armor
magical.
that are on it. You see holy symbols that are on it.
To investigate the armor.
Nothing. Never mind. I was just be like, I ran over there and started taking it or something, but I don't know if I can
I mean, I
actually
think I have priority for any of it, so.
I mean, you would have seen people walk in, and then you see them walk up to the.
I mean, I had
thing,
priority
and-
last time too,
And
but
you're just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm not.
You're not touching. You're just looking at it. Okay.
I got a 15.
15. Yeah, you see it. It looks like it's pretty well made leather armor. Give me a. Are you looking specifically at anything within it with your?
I'm looking
with
for
your
traps
on the armor.
Search for traps.
and or
Okay.
mannequin.
Okay, you do not see any traps that are on the mannequin. But it is a very nice, looks finely crafted leather. It's a reddish brown, and you can see there are various what's it called holy elements within it. Looks like it would have been worn by like a priest, but you're like, why does it have priests have leather armor? Very strange, but that's what it is on the mannequin. And there is that door to your right. It's about 20 feet away from the area.
I'm gonna go search the wardrobe.
Yeah. You go and you open the wardrobe. Go ahead and make me an investigation check as you go in and
And
look.
it eats your face.
13?
Mimic wardrobe.
13.
do
You
you
see
have a-
various.
Does that have any bonus for investigation?
You probably have a decrease, honestly.
Investigation is intelligence
It's-
plus if you have it as proficient.
I don't think you're proficient in. investigation. I could be wrong.
I get a +4 investigation.
Dude, what? Nice.
I don't know what he rolled, but apparently everything.
Well, he
was
switched his dex with his intelligence because he had his dex as his highest as a wizard. So he
Yo,
switched.
isn't he still have like an 18 dex?
I don't think so. Maybe?
Then
I'll look at your sheet later. So, what did you end up rolling? Total 17?
Yeah, because I get a +4.
17. You see a box in the bottom right hand side of the wardrobe, and you also see a couple nightgowns. And that's about all you see. You also see another dwarven statue that's in there.
The little one.
Yeah, a little one.
I look in the little box.
Oh, you didn't see a first one. You see a dwarven statue in there.
Hey! Come on! Tugger, come on.
go on.
Come on. Down. Come on.
He's like, no.
Get out!
No, this is my time.
He's like, I live here.
Fat man warm.
Can't get up on everybody.
While they're all doing that, can I go check out the bed and look underneath it?
Can't get up on everybody.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your investigation check. You're crawling under the bed.
Did I open the box? The little box?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
You can try and open it. The box is locked.
Oh,
You can try and
it's
open it.
a lock box.
It does look like it has a lock on it. So if you have thieves' tools, you can pick the lock. I don't know if anyone here has thieves' tools, or you can try and break it.
Is it a lock built into the box, or is it a lock like on the outside?
It looks like a lock that is built into the box. Like you would need a key.
I have hand axes. Just saying.
You could try and break it. It's not made out of stone. It looks like a wooden box. You could break it.
I'm gonna break the box.
How do you break the box?
Borrow a hand axe.
Go ahead and try and strike the box. Give me an attack roll for the box. I want to see if you miss.
Was that a 10?
Hold on, I just want to see.
Next one.
I just want to. If you roll anything above a 1, you'll hit this box.
It's a 10.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you hit the box. Yeah, you're like. How do you strike this box to break it? How hard are you hitting this box?
I'm
Or
hitting
you
it with all my strength right in the front edge where the lock is.
Just aiming for the.
Oh, for the lock. I got you.
It's built in, so the front edge there.
Yeah, makes sense.
But
I was
focused on. There.
Yeah, I was making sure you were cutting it in half.
No.
Or something silly. Yeah, you go ahead and you strike the box and you hit just the very edge of the box, and you see the whole front half just crack off, and you definitely have access to the box now, as the wood has splintered and the front half has been.
What's in the box?
Cleaved off.
What's in the box?
Within the box, you see a couple of gold coins. You also see a coin that has a dwarven face upon it.
Take it, put it in my pocket.
Yeah, you can just take them and put them in your pocket. I mean, when you see him, yeah, you see him pick it back up and
It's a hand axe.
and pick it up and grab what's inside and just put it in his pocket.
And then I grab the statue and ask the dwarf little guy to read it.
Yeah, so you go to the back of the room where the dwarf would have been, and he hands it to the statue, and he looks at it, and there's no inscription on this statue.
Do we notice that he has like they're handing the statue around?
That he's handing the statue around? Yeah, you would
So
see
the
him.
two of us notice that. Or
Yeah, I mean, you would notice someone walking around with a statue and
he's
giving
got
it
a
to
second
someone.
statue.
Um,
Make sure he's aware of.
Did we keep the first statue?
Yeah, he's got.
I have it.
Okay.
We don't even know we have a first.
Yeah, you guys don't know about
yeah,
it, but
I'm not gonna like.
Oh, hey, that
like
looks
if-
just
if-
like the one we got.
I guess to
We
further
found-
explain, like if you're in the room with someone and they're not trying to hide them doing them something, you're going to notice. I'm not like if I'm just gonna blatantly say it out loud for everyone to be able to hear. You're in a 20 by 20 room. You probably see it. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, you don't see it because your perception's fucking low. Like he's not trying to sneak around. He's just like, hey, what's this? Like you would know that's happening.
I was gonna say, yeah, that looks just like the one that we found.
And it does. Do you show them the one or?
Oh yeah, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
look, check this
Yeah.
out, and then I'll pull it out.
Probably need
Should've
those
weathered
later
out.
on.
What?
Probably need those later on.
You see that